Yeah, guys, today we will start the chapter number 6 in geography, water. There is a popular saying in Hindi, Jal hi jeevan hai, which means water is life. Water is essential requirement for substances of life, sustenance of life. Scientists the world over are exploring the various celestial bodies for any trace of water, as that would be an indicator for possibility of life outside the earth. We on the earth have a lot of water. Look at the globe and you will see large areas in blue depicting water of the ocean. In this chapter we shall study about water. Yeah, guys, what is water? Water is one of natural most important gift to all living things. Essential of to life, a person survive depend on drinking water. The human body consists of many minerals, but nearly 55% of it water. It thus one of the most essential element for good health. It necessary for the digestion and absorption of food, help maintaining proper muscle tone, supplies oxygen and nutrients to the cells, rid the body and waste, and serves as natural air conditioning system. So student, our earth has a huge quantity of water. Nearly 70% of earth's surface is covered by water, and fortunately it maintains its quantity on the earth, although it may temporarily changes its form. Huge quantities of water from the ocean, other water bodies evaporate and convert into vapor. It mixes with the air and moves around with the winds. The then again it's precipitated in the form of rain or snow or falls back to earth. This water once again flow around on the surface through rivers and joins back the ocean. Yeah, guys, most important is water cycle, the process by which water continuously changes from and circulated between the ocean, atmosphere and land is known as the water cycle. Once again I said, the process by which water continuously changes from and circulates between the ocean, atmosphere and land is known as the water cycle. The sun heat provide energy to evaporate water from the oceans, lakes, etc. On the earth's surface, plants also lose water to their air by a process called transpiration. Okay, the water vapor eventually condense, forming tiny droplets in clouds. When the clouds meet in cool air over land, precipitation is triggered, is one form of rain, sleet or snow. Thus water return to the land or sea. Some of the water gets soaked into ground. Some of the underground water is trapped between rock or clay layers. This is called groundwater, but most of the water flow down hills or slides down slopes, and it is called a runoff. This may be above ground or underground, but eventually it returns to the seas. Yeah, guys, why is the ocean water salty? Yes, as water flows through rivers, it picks up a small amount of mineral salt from the rocks and soil on the river beds. This slightly salty water flows into the ocean and seas. Okay, so the water in the ocean only leaves by evaporating, but the salt remains dissolved in the ocean. It does not evaporate, so the remaining water gets slightly salty and salty as time passes. Yeah, guys, availability of water, 97% of the water on the earth is salty. Only 3% is fresh water. Fresh water is naturally occurring water on the earth's surface in ice sheets, ice caps, glaciers, ponds, lakes, rivers and streams, and underground and groundwater. Okay, in aquifer and underground streams, fresh water is generally characterized by having how dissolved solids. The following charts would be bring out clearly how the small quantity of fresh water is distributed on the earth's surface. Yeah, oceanic water 97.3%. The water here is salty. Ice is 2.2%. Ice in the Arctic, Antarctic and glacier regions. Groundwater 0.5%. Underground water and reservoir deep wells. Okay, lakes 0.02% provide drinking water, irrigation water and fisheries. Okay, soil moisture 0.005%. This is being used by crop, trees and surface vegetation. Water vapor in the atmosphere 0.0001%, cloud, fog and dews. Rivers 0.0001% only provide water for drinking, irrigation and fisheries. If you ever go close to sea or even a lake, you would notice that the water is not static like a seat. Okay, there are ripple like formation and the water keeps moving slightly. Even a boat keeps swaying on the surface despite its being anchored. This is because the wind blowing on the surface keeps causing the water surfaces to move, but that is not all. Okay, water keeps moving due to a various reasons, which are waves, gravitational pulls of sun and moon and variation in temperature. This is also affected by the rotation of the earth. Let us see these one by one. Waves are found by the blowing of winds on the surface. It causes the water to move up and down and even along the direction of the wind. If you ever stand close to the shore, you would realize that the waves keep changing their size and intensity. But if you throw a piece of wood into the water, it keeps coming back and does not go away. This shows that water is just moving locally there. Wave size depend on the distance the wind blow over open surface of water, the length of time the wind blows and the speed of the wind. The greater these three, the larger is the wave. Small water bodies like ponds and lakes have laser contact between the water surface and the wind, and therefore the waves may just look the ripple. The larger waves are found in the open oceans. Waves continuously to get larger as they move and absorb energy from the wind. In the chapter Air, you have studied how the cyclonic condition caused huge waves that caused devastation on thousands of square kilometers of shoreline in Odisha. The crest is the highest part of the wave and the throw it is the lowest. The distance between the crest and the throw is the wave height. In other words, we can say that crest, high point, throw, low point, height, vertical distance from chest to throw. Okay, and now wavelength, horizontal distance between crest to crest or throw to throw is called wavelength. To wind, waves are also formed in undersea earthquake or other sharp motions in the seafloor by volcanic activities. Such waves are called tsunamis, a Japanese name for harbor waves, okay, that can devastate entire coastlines. Such a phenomenon can shift large amount of water from oceans to the source in the form of huge waves and cause large scale destruction. Now guys, we learn about tides. What is tide? If you listen to the news, you would have heard about ships getting stuck near beaches and then rescues waiting for a system called high tide to pull out such ships. Water tides? Yeah. Tides are a phenomenon where the level of water rises or falls. This happens alternatively. After a high tide, there would be low tide and again a high tide followed by a low tide. Tides are experienced in sea and oceans. That the earth revolves around the sun due to gravitational pull. Also the moon revolves around the earth. Such planetary bodies have a gravitational force. The oceans which have water are greatly affected the gravitational pull of the sun and the moon. And since the moon is 400 times closer to the earth, it has more influence on tides than the sun. This picture is shown high tides and low tides. Yes guys, tides are two types, spring tides and neap tide. First one is spring tide. Okay, when the moon is full or new, the gravitational pull of the moon and sun are combined because the sun, the moon and the earth are in the same line. At this time the high tides are very high and the low tides are very low. So this is known as spring high tides. Clear? Neap tide means during the moon's quarter phases, the sun and moon work at right angles, causing the volutes to cancel each other. Okay, so the result is a similar difference between high and low tides and known as neap tide. Thus, if you compare, the water level would be different during full and new moon days as compared to the quarter moon days. Clear? Okay. Yeah guys, this is the clear picture of neap tide. Picture of spring tide. Sun, earth, full moon, sun, new moon and earth. Yeah guys, tides around the world. Tidal changes are different in various parts of the world. Near the equator, there is very little noticeable changes because a large volume of water is spread out over large areas. The highest tides in the world occurs at the Bay of Fundy and Nova Scotia. The bay is very narrow or so water rushing in form of ocean can rise and fall up to 20 meters a day. Yeah guys, importance of tides or significance of the tide. Okay, importance of tides. The phenomenon of tides affect many aspects of life of people living and the shores also. Okay, high tides are helpful as they increase the height of the water near the source, thus enabling big ships to sail off safely. Okay, Diamond Harbour in West Bengal makes use high tides. High tides raise the level of water in the river. Tides help in the generation of hydroelectricity. High tides help in carrying the sediments from the mouth of the river and prevent stilling the harbor. The fishing industry is helped by the rise and fall of the tides. Okay. Ocean currents constitute a large mass of water flowing along a fixed path on the surface of the ocean continuously. A current may be swept with a speed of up to 10 km per hour or it may be broad and slow moving at an average speed of 2 km per hour. The slower currents are called ocean drifts. Okay, ocean circulation is a driven by energy from the sun, surface wind and the rotation of the earth. Yes, types of oceanic currents. Cold surface ocean current come to polar and temperate latitude and tend to flow toward the equator. Warm surface current flow from the tropic to the higher latitude. Both are driven by atmospheric wind and the earth rotations. Okay, this Coriolis effect causes the water to flow in a circular pattern clockwise in the northern hemisphere and counterclockwise in the southern hemisphere. Okay, the following factors causes ocean currents. The warm the prevailing winds are the major causes of the oceanic water moving in a definite direction. Okay, the different in temperature and salinity are also responsible for the movement of oceanic water. Okay, so the pushing action of these winds make the water flow as they do, like a planetary winds currents to and deflect from their original path due to the rotation of the earth. All currents in the northern hemisphere moves in a clockwise direction, while in the southern hemisphere they move in an anti-clockwise direction. Landmass are also responsible for changing the course of a current. Okay, so in the equatorial region ocean water gets more heated than in the polar regions. This makes the water light. Water is the polar region is cold and heavy, so it sinks flow toward the equator. The light upper layer sorry the light upper layers of the water are forced to move toward the poles where they get cooled. What are some effects of ocean currents? Ocean current effects are transfer heat from tropical to polar region, influences weather and climate, and distribute nutrients and scatter organisms. I hope you understand what is in this chapter. This chapter is over.